like from an angle where you could see all the ships. Like if that, I don't know if you get to see the front before. Yeah, I want to send it to Lori.
says at 3:10 in the afternoon she had either bottomed out or had a stress fracture of the hull. That's the only two possibilities I have. She was sinking from that time on. And my theory is that the water just finally built up on her, finally up in her bow, and she had so much on it, just started her down. And once she started down, the screw just drove her to the bottom. But with all that extra water on deck, at times, I had as much as 12 feet on my deck at times. And I know my hatch crane was completely buried a few times. When she was hurt, she had a starboard list. Her fence rails were down. She had a couple tanks, vent tanks missing. I think that water probably pushed her down another 2 or 3 feet. Besides, the list would have increased her breadth on the starboard side. My opinion is she bottomed out. The one thing is that the fence rails don't break with the ship sagging. They break with the ship hogging. And of course, my other theory is that he just dove under the water. I mean, he didn't even realize he was going down. So those two seas were the biggest that we ever had going down there. And they happened about 6:30 in the evening. And I just wonder if those two seas didn't catch up to the Fitzgerald. I just got to thinking about it afterwards, that those seas were that big. They rolled up his deck, and he's got a list. And the water stays up in the fore cab, it's going to put his bow down under the water. And he said, I've got a little problem. He said, my fence rail is down. He said, I've got 2 vents missing, and I've taken a starboard list. Now, an immediate list, again, tells me that he either had a stress fracture or he bottomed out. He said he had his pumps on. I asked him if he had his pumps on. He said yes. And then Morgan, I was after. I said, how you doing? He said, we're holding our own. That was at 7:10. That was the last transmission we had. And he showed no signs of panic. I mean, he was calm. So I like I firmly believe, I think that he thought that ship was going to get him through. Captain O'Reilly asked me if I'd personally go back out. I was reluctant to go, really I was. But he said there's a ship on the bottom, and I felt like saying there could be 2 if I go back, you know. I finally decided I'd go out. We started running through a lot of debris, gas tanks, for the stoves, life preservers, oars, canisters, but no sign of anybody else. I think it was sudden and catastrophic. I mean, the ship just disappeared completely. All you had to do was pick up the phone and say, Mayday, Mayday. And, I think they were going under, and they thought it was a big wave. And I think they just kept going, just closed.
Helmet weighed 40 pounds. The helmet.
I think they're probably remembered a lot more than what you realize by the ships that are still sailing. You know, the skippers are going through there. I still think, you know, the thought would cross their mind when you were going over, possibly over where the Fitzgerald sunk, and say, oh boy, there's a Fitzgerald on there. It keeps popping up all the time. It's just there in the background waiting to be something to be said about.